For today, we are going to be diving into 10 things I wish I knew before I got into nursing school. Ceiling light, a little bit of window light, nothing too crazy. Take a little roof. Take your microphone. Oh, all right. Hello. What is up, you guys? It's Charles, and I'm back again with another video. And for today, I wanted to dive into my very first term at BCIT as a student nurse. And it's so weird to say that we've just completed our very first term at BCIT. I'm still trying to process the entire thing because it happened so fast, way too fast. I swear, I was just doing my prerequisites yesterday, talking about passing the midterms, getting through the finals, upgrading classes, and now here we are talking about finishing our first term in nursing school. All right, just a little background before we start our video today. Last year, I was working on all my prerequisites at a different school. I went to Douglas College, and I also upgraded a few high school courses just to kind of make my application more competitive. Once we did that, applied to nursing school, and bam, here we are officially. And it's still so weird saying that because when I officially thought about nursing school, I always thought, oh my gosh, that's not for me. It's impossible. It's really hard to get into it. While it is quite difficult, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was quite difficult. There's prerequisites in general are not easy, especially your A and P biology classes. They are not easy peasy. But as long as you're putting all the effort, the energy, and the time that it requires, you're going to be golden. And before you know it, you're going to be in nursing school like me. And the reason why we're making this video today is because prior to nursing school, while doing my research, I was a little bit in a loop of confusion, trying to get information from the BCIT website, videos from BCIT themselves, in YouTube, but I really wanted to see or get some information from a student getting their first-hand experience onto what it was like on their first term as a nursing student. I really hope you find this video helpful, so sit back, relax, because you won't be able to do that anytime soon. I'm serious. All right, I'm babbling too much. 10 things, let's go. All right, so I wanted to start out with our course schedule and the course structure to begin with, just to give you a little idea on the workload that you'll expect. So beginning with, here's our little handy dandy schedule. In term one, we had about 5 classes that we were started with, and for me personally, I had 6. Just because in the nursing program, there is also 2 electives that you'll need to take within the first 4 terms of nursing school, and they're called liberal arts, liberal studies, for short libs. I'll attach it somewhere here, somewhere in the video. So these are, again, electives that you'll need to take. And the best advice that I got from a friend of mine from a future term was to take libs in your first term and kind of just get these courses out of the way so that you can focus on specifically nursing content the further you get into the program. One thing I wanted to say though, it's like, yes, you have all these classes. They fortunately work together. They just make sense because you're taking information from one class and then you're applying it to another, and it just kind of connects in your head. And just coming from prerequisites and only doing 2 to 3 classes max at a time, having 4, 5, 6 classes in general in total in my first term of nursing school was undeniably overwhelming. Although you'll eventually get the hang of it and it'll feel like second nature to you having these much classes at a time. And with that, that takes us to the topic of time management. I know for me, this was one of the biggest adjustments I had to make because when I was still doing my prerequisites, I found myself just going to class, taking notes, taking really pretty notes. I had to actually have time to make pretty notes, and then going home, relaxing, and not really taking the time to process and absorb what I just learned. But in nursing school, you'll have to take the time to really just digest what you were just taught, and make sure you stay organized as well. Because again, you have about 5, 6 classes if you decide to take libs. You want things to be accessible. You want to be able to just pick things up from where you left off and go from there. I do want you to keep in mind that you don't have to be a productivity machine, but getting ahead of things will help you in the long run. Your future self will love you so much. And I know this is easier said than done because we all have different lives. Some of us have work full-time, some of us have work part-time, some of us have children that we need to tend to. Again, there's just a lot of factors that may hinder us from getting things done as early as possible. But if you can, it really does help a lot to just ease the load so that you're not cramming things at the end. And for me, being in my first term, I made the mistake of leaving things at the last minute in the context of studying for midterms, final exams. I think that was really important to get through because now, going to term 2, I'm able to remember that and make a few adjustments, making sure that I review here and there so that when it's time to finally study for midterms and exams, I already have a good idea, a solid foundation so that I'm not overwhelmed with all the content that I have to go through again for the finals. The next point I wanted to bring up was nursing school is no longer about memorization. It is all application based. And I know that was such a struggle for me because, especially in biology A and P1, anatomy and physiology 2, yes, I had to understand concepts, of course, but a lot of it was memorization. It is no longer about memorization, but applying your understanding of the concepts that you're taught in class. So a lot of the times, if not all of the time, you will be given scenario-based questions and then listen carefully, choosing the best answer because most of the time, the answers, the options that you get work, but choosing the best is the correct answer. And I don't mean to scare you, it's just how nursing school works because sure, there's a few different ways to go at things, but there is the best way to tackle something. So tip number 4 is you have to have your circle of friends because you cannot do this alone. And keep in mind, again, that it's okay to ask for help. You will need your support system, whether that be, again, your peers at school, your best friends outside of school, your dog, yes, your cat, your pet lizard. But okay, you need your support system, okay? And just celebrate your little wins together because passing a test, passing a little assignment, is a big win in nursing school. It's possible to get those good grades on those assignments, okay? And I won't sugarcoat it. There are going to be some assignments that you're just going to want to question your life. There are some assignments where it can be a little bit frustrating because you might think you did amazing, but it turns out you didn't. But again, it's normal. As long as you pass, that is all that matters, okay? That is all that matters, as long as you pass. Tip number 5 is socializing. In nursing school, you'll be challenged to work in groups. This can be in assignments, projects, and you won't really have a choice on who you're going to be working with. And yes, this is going to sound scary for a lot of introverts out there. I know it was scary for me because I'm so used to working alone, doing homework or doing projects, assignments alone. But in nursing school, it's very collaborative. You're working with students from all backgrounds, from all age groups. Although, if you think about it, when you finally become a nurse or any fields out there, any careers out there, you don't really have a choice on who you're working with. So being in nursing school and being able to work with different personalities, it is a training ground for you to be able to adjust. They make you work in projects, group activities all the friggin' time. Multiple times. A lot. You're going to be put in friggin' groups that you might not like, but you'll be put in one. But will you survive? Yes, you darn will. Yes, you darn will. Number 6, be open to feedback. Be open to feedback. Instructors are not there to tear you down, make you feel inferior or not smart. Yes, instructors can be intimidating because again, you're in the official nursing program. You're in a program where you're being taught how to survive and work. And these instructors are only there for your benefits. And yes, some of them might seem a little bit scary in the way they deliver things or the way they give feedback, but try to not take things personally. And getting feedback from instructors may feel like you're being confronted, but you're really not. Take it as a learning opportunity and just have an open mind. Your instructors are there for your benefit. They want to see you thrive, whether they show it or not. Because if you think about it, it's only in their best interest for them to have students to do well in their class. Because if they don't, it also reflects on them. Because at the end of the day, this is for your safety and your future client's safety. Okay, they want you to be a competent nurse. So if they may be a little bit harsh in their deliverance of feedback at times, it's something that you can embed in your mind. A little trauma, a little trauma to push you further and to bring with you in your future terms. On to tip number 7, write notes down all the time. Always pay attention to what instructors say because a lot of times there may be a few things that they repeat a lot. Because those things that they repeat a lot will most likely be in the exam. So jot those down, write them down, ask more questions about those things that they repeat a lot. Also, a lot of times in these classes, instructors will give you real life scenarios based on their own personal experiences. Really internalize that because again, as an application-based program, you want to be able to apply these things not just from memorization, but being able to really understand what you're trying to say, really understand the concept. So when you get into the final exams, it won't feel as tricky. It won't feel like you're getting tricked. Number 8, eat, sleep, and breathe, because a lot of times we forget to breathe. What even is breathing? It's really easy to forget self-care, especially when you're in a high time of stress, like doing skincare, exercising, eating healthy, staying hydrated. I, for a fact, have kind of let go of my nutritious diet throughout the program because I found that I was eating for convenience, but I wasn't really mindful of eating things that would help me sustain and be able to get through the program without any negative consequences like bloating or feeling a little heavy in the belly before getting into class. Also, I highly recommend bringing snacks to class because you're in lecture for 2 to 3 hours and your brain is thinking a lot. So just bring light snacks that's not gonna cause any distractions in class. I'm saying this because you can't pour from an empty cup and your body carries your brain. So take care of both, all right? Okay. Number 9, think like a nurse. Yes, even as a student nurse. Think like you're already working. Think like a nurse. Think. Along the way, you'll find yourself asking more why questions. You're gonna eventually question a lot of things. So why am I giving this medication? Why am I taking this specific action when I could potentially be doing that thing instead? Which is a good thing. You're challenging your thoughts, you're challenging what you don't know and trying to understand things more, which is a really good practice as a student nurse because when you finally officially become a real nurse, or a working nurse out in the field, you're gonna wanna be doing the same thing. You're gonna wanna question things you're not sure of. Because at the end of the day, this is for your client's safety, for your safety as a nurse. No matter how dumb you might think you might sound, ask those questions because instructors love it when students ask questions because it shows that you're being proactive in learning, that you care about your studies, and that you're engaged as a student. So you wanna build that habit of asking why all the time. Okay? Just remember that this is your first term. This is a new territory for you. Give yourself some grace. I know some of you might have majorly high expectations in yourselves, which is a good thing. Repeat after me. You don't have to be perfect. Okay? Thank you. Number 10, finally, and the last tip. You probably heard a lot of people say this, and I'll say it too. And that is, C's get what? C's get degrees. Yes. C's get degrees. And that's not to say that you don't have to, and that's not to say that you don't have to work hard or study hard. That's just to say that even if you don't get A's or B's, your expected grade in class, as long as you pass, that is all that matters. I'm telling you, that is all that matters. As long as you're doing your best, giving your best effort, taking the opportunity to learn, to grow, that grade that will reflect on your grading rubric or wherever, even if it's not your expected grade, as long as you pass, that is all that matters, okay? So take that, and I know you'll do great. Okay, so that was a lot. Term 1 is a lot, but I'm super excited for your journey in BCIT. I'm really excited for you to start. You worked so hard to get here. You know yourself, you know your capabilities, and just take nursing school as it goes day by day. You're gonna learn more than you ever thought you're ever gonna learn possible. And not just about nursing, but also about yourself. Take it one day at a time, and just keep in mind again, you're a Term 1 nursing student. You're a nursing baby. You are a fetus. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not know everything. Okay? And just remember to enjoy nursing school because it's true what they say. Time really does fly. It's crazy. And I'm so excited for you to start your journey in nursing school. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And to support my channel, please feel free to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so that you'll know the next time I post. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.